Hello, I'm Dynast Amir.
So I reached out to another friend of mine. I said, look, I need to go on vacation somewhere. Where should I go? He said, go to Africa. And not only am I gonna go, I'm going to explore a new country. So I went to Tanzania, South Africa, Namibia, Mali, Senegal, Morocco, Liberia, Namibia, Kenya, the Voodoo Festival in Ouida, Gambia, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire. Sierra Leone, Ghana, Nigeria. It's been a beautiful experience, just learning more about our culture, our indigenous culture. So uhuru means freedom in Swahili. I'm in search of my roots. In finding that, I would experience my uhuru, which is freedom.
Till next time, Dynast Amir, I'm out.
Into that economy,
All right.
they're going to have to follow the rules. That's how you do it. That's how you become a superpower. It's about the system that you implement, and that system has 3 building blocks.
Now you mentioned this central currency, like one currency. Now I've been reading they're going to get rid of the CFA, but are they going to? They're not going to replace it with the ECO with something new, or is it the ECO they're going to replace it with? Well, recently just happened as far as the CFA.
A few months. Well, we have to look at the system that those West African nations are in. The system that they're in is the system that was created by Charles de Gaulle, basically the synergy between France maintaining their colonial benefits over their colonies while still granting them independence. So now those nations are in that system. And so a lot of analysts are essentially saying that they're changing the note within that system, but the system is still there.
Oh, okay. All right.
Exchange the currency within the system and give a few concessions, but you don't destroy the system.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay.
So that's why nations like Nigeria and the English-speaking countries are looking at it and saying, well, for us to really engage in this new version of what the ECO was supposed to be, you have to remember that what was proposed is very different than what was executed.
Right.
What was proposed was very different than what was executed. So now a lot of the nations that were looking to meet the convergence criteria, because you still have to remember the convergence criteria have to be met, certain single-digit inflation and things of that nature. So those nations, to an extent, can say, well, we haven't reached the convergence criteria. We're just going to take a look and see how this folds out because there's a little too much European involvement. And these are how these African nations are looking at the ECO at this point. So within the CFA and the Central African nations and the West African nations, the Central African nations will probably follow the West African nations eventually to maybe the ECO Central or whatever they're going to set up with that. But right now, a lot of the countries are looking at the ECO as not the answer. Some other analysts have discussed turning the Naira into the regional currency. If Nigeria,
that makes sense.
If Nigeria can properly industrialize as it plans to, Nigeria is going to industrialize during this decade. How it's going to look by 2030 is going to be very interesting because industrialization is coming to Nigeria and West Africa very hard this decade.
Right. Oh yeah, that's great. I mean, you already have the refinery, Dangote. You have his refinery, and then at the same time, Nigeria is doing a great job industrializing as it is.
Yeah. And another thing is the gas pipe that they're looking to send through Nigeria up into North Africa. And you have to remember that Nigeria has more gas, and gas is a better long-term bet than oil. Because with gas is going to be needed for more things longer than the bulk of what gasoline or oil is needed for currently, based on the trend. So Nigeria is looking to build pipelines that will either supply Europe or parts of North Africa with gas. And that could be just as valuable as the oil. So that's the new thing. And moving that gas, if you construct the infrastructure properly, you can increase electricity and other different things just based on the fact that you're no longer flaring gas, but you're putting it to good use.
That's what's up, guys. Hit that like button. We'll go ahead and open up the chat or the lines. If you want to call in, here's my email. Send me an email and I will send you the link. So here is my email, guys. Uhuru, search for Uhuru.com. Send me an email. I will forward you the link. Now, you heard about Morocco, I guess, joining ECOWAS now, or wanting to.
Yeah, there was a bid for Morocco to join ECOWAS. That was very heavy, I believe 2 or 3 years ago.
No, recently I think were accepted. I think just like this past month. Well, yeah, this past month.
They started the process about 2 to 3 years ago.
Okay,
and it would have made more sense for Mauritania to come back into the West African fold,
right?
Because it would have made it more contiguous to have Senegal, Mauritania, the territory in between Morocco and what people call Morocco proper. Yeah, some still say that that's a country. Some still say it's part of Morocco. But in either event, currently it's pretty much dominated by Morocco, so we'll include it in that country.
Right.
But that would have made it contiguous. But once again, if we just look at things historically, whenever things are going good in West Africa, the Moroccans have brought their armies down and caused problems. So is this another one of what they did, their great-great-grandfathers did? Are they coming to cause trouble, or are they coming for us to mutually benefit? Because if there are things like their fertilizers and technology transfers, things that they do well in Morocco, they have a fishing industry. If we can take that technology and transfer it out throughout West Africa, then that would validate their stay. Because, hey, through Morocco, we're able to get this technology that we're now making money with, that we're increasing the economy and the GDP. Then, okay, then that was a good synergy. Now, there will be some competition because currently Nigeria is the big dog in ECOWAS, and Morocco is another powerful country as well in other areas. So now there's going to be a little bit of a tussle because Nigeria won't be the only big boy on the block.
Right. Let's see. We have a shout out to Christy A for the super chat. What does Ebube think about Buhari's policy of increasing production of food in Nigeria instead of importing food? Do you think we really ran out of money? I think increasing the production and being self-sufficient. I mean, I don't know. You're the economist, but I would think increasing the production instead of importing. Like, why would you import rice? You know, the borders were shut down last year because people were smuggling rice from Benin Republic. So it would give the opportunity for local Nigerian farmers to grow their own rice and supply the market. But then they were complaining that the Nigerian local rice was more expensive than the rice coming from Benin Republic. But so, I mean, what are your thoughts on the question?
Well, the first question about the production and then the money situation. The money situation I'll answer second. Well, first I'll actually answer the money question first, and then I'll go to the rice production or the production of local produce as opposed to importing produce. Now, when we talk about has Nigeria ran out of money, here's the thing. Those in government take their budgets very seriously. And the reason I say that is because they know where they're going to spend all of that money, right? So now when something like a pandemic happens and everything stops, it's not normal. What happens in Nigeria is everybody who has their money in large quantities holds it. They say, you know what, let me hold on to my money. Let me not, in fact, let those 2 houses I was building, I'm going to go ahead and sell those and just get my money back, and just to be sure, just to be safe. So whenever there's any type of panic in Nigeria, people hoard their money, if you will. So to say, is there no more money left? Yes, because people aren't circulating their money. But is there still money? Yes, because once things improve, you see Nigeria go back to the way it always was.
Right.
So to answer your question, yes and no, there's no money in circulation. Everybody's holding their money tight because there's uncertainty. Now, to go back to the first question about what do I think about Buhari's policies on. Now, we have to realize that in Nigeria, there's the theory and then there's the practical. Now, why should we in Nigeria, when we have Benue, when we have all sorts of middle belt states that have really, really, really great soil for growing that can feed the whole of Africa, why would a country that can do that spend precious foreign exchange on produce and give up that wealth to another nation when we can empower our farmers and our people who are into animals and other produce such as that? Why would we give a foreigner, a foreign nation, our currency when we can give that to people in our country and they can spend that in our country and keep that dollar circulating? So in theory, yes, that's the best thing to do. Now in practice, once Nigerians, let's say, get dependent on 60% imported wheat, and we have wheat, or 60% imported rice, and that becomes popular. And in Nigeria, once one thing becomes popular, it's popular everywhere. You'll see it everywhere. So now this foreign rice, you're seeing it everywhere because it's popular, and it's good rice. It's quality rice. And so now our industry can't compete with that level of rice because the processing and the secondary attributes aren't there. So now it's, hey, this rice, it's the same price or just a little bit more than this local rice, and the quality is better. I'm going to go with that. That's a rational choice, but you're harming the economy because you're not empowering the rice growers in the country. And that's, in theory, what we want to address. Mm-hmm. Now, let's say the farmers, they get it good, but people still don't, the quality just isn't there.
Right.
And now you have a situation where people are like, you know what? I don't see the quality. I'm just going to smuggle rice into the country.
I think that was one of the complaints as well, as far as the rice coming out of Nigeria, was that the quality wasn't good.
And that's the thing. We in local manufacturing, and this is just a lesson to all in local manufacturing in Nigeria. Just because you're in Nigeria doesn't mean you have to lower the standards. Just because you're treating and trading in the Nigerian market doesn't mean you lower the standards, especially if you're able to see what comes into the country. You should know that that's the global standard. So artisans and anybody who crafts things or grows anything, you need to adhere to the highest standard because the economy is global now. Someone can buy rice from Malaysia and skip over the rice from Ebonyi State because they prefer the taste. And so now competition is global. So what Africans continent-wide have to realize is that the competition is global. In this decade, we as Africans have to step our game up and compete at the global level because the competition is global.
Hey, Mufasa, I'm sending you the link so you can call in. Mufasa, I just sent the link. Oh, no, that's not the link. Hold on one second. And guys, make sure you hit that super chat button as well, and like and subscribe, and go to Amazon, go grab a copy of the book. Hold on, Mufasa. I am sending the link to you right now. Let's see here. Copy. Get that to you. Bam. All right, link sent. Link sent. Now, as far as becoming a world power, like, I mean, we import a lot of goods here in America as well. But from what I observe, America is still more favorable. Well, not necessarily, because everything is produced in China. Everything's made in China these days. As far as manufacturing, producing his own goods, in order to be a world power, I know you brought up Nigeria industrializing, but is industrialization really necessary to become a world power? Because, for example, here in America, everything is pretty much made overseas now.
Yeah, but you're missing one key feature. America has a system.
Okay.
Remember, it's not just about how much you import or export that helps. You have to have a robust economy, and you have to have a situation where you control the global trade of system and how people trade.
Right.
So now the next question is, you have to have a global military or a force that can act globally, meaning that if I tell you as a nation in Asia or the Middle East, as America, that you need to do X, Y, and Z, I have to be able to project my military might out that far, right? African nations would have to have a military of that caliber. And the last thing is that once you have those two building blocks, a Pan-African economy, a Pan-African military, you can now move up and have a Pan-African currency. And it's going to be really valuable because you'll be able to control it the way you like. And because of the wealth of the continent, it'll be a valuable currency. So now other nations will see it, they'll see the economy, and they'll know not to mess